Okay, so this is so if you're watching the videos, I filmed I'm filmed the digital circuit. I just finished filming the digital circus video, and it is currently uploading while I'm recording this video. Um, this video is about Dune Part 3 coming out. Um, I read the book Dune Messiah in preparation for the new movie coming out because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that's assuming this, that Dune Part 3 is going to be based on Dune Messiah, which is the second book in the series. They're going. Okay. Um, um, Now, if you have read the book, if you read the first book and you saw the first two movies, Dune and Dune Part 2, were based on the first book. They basically just they basically took the story and made two movies. Um which I think is what I said in my last Dune video. They are now we're in they should be in Dune Messiah. A concern I'm having is this that Dune Part 3 might not be a part might not be telling the story of Dune Messiah. It might be doing something else, and they haven't gotten to the events of Dune Messiah yet. They're doing something else before they do that, which is why they're calling it Part 3 instead of just calling it Dune Messiah, which kind of worries me a little bit because now you're making original stuff, and you've already like what's the word? You've already changed the story a little bit by not having the 10-year time jump in part 2, not having Cheney and Paul be married, not having his sister be born and being the one that kills Baron Harkonnen. You've already changed the story, and then my concern is that they are further changing the story by adding by adding like a new events to this story instead of just going into Dune Messiah. That's a concern I have. We will find out if it is true when the movie comes out. I don't think it is. I think they're just calling it Part 3 because they might be calling it Part 3 because the because it's all going to be like, because they can't try to put all of that story into one movie. It might Part 3 and Part 4 might be Dune Messiah. We're going to find out. But is this video is. This video is what they can do. What I think what they can do, what they should do in the movie. Certain things, certain events, certain characters that should be in this movie. We're going to start off with, and there will be some spoilers, there will be some book spoilers in this video. So if you haven't read the book, you want to read the book, don't watch this video. Um, the Okay, the first thing I wanted to discuss is the um the conspiracy. The conspiracy against Paul as emperor, which Princess Erlon is um is a part of. There is a huge network of conspirators in the book. Princess Erlon is a part of it. She's at the top of it, or she's near the top of it. They are, they're actively trying to get Paul off the throne. They're trying to keep him from having heirs, so his bloodline can't continue to sit on the throne. Part of this is um, slipping Cheney a contraceptive to make her to make her birth like to make her birth of any potential heirs very difficult, so they're not born. Um, this is something they notice, obviously, because she's having a very difficult pregnancy, and they notice something's wrong, and they do eventually figure out like someone has slipped her a contraceptive. They're not sure if the babies are going to live. Spoiler alert: the babies that she does give birth, and it turns out it's twins, and they're both healthy. So the plan doesn't work out. So ultimately, the plan doesn't work out. Um, this whole conspiracy, some of this conspiracy, they can do. They can have the conspiracy. Princess Erlon can be a part of that. Um, there's a face dancer Paul uses as an assassin. He goes in, he finds out who these conspirators are. He takes someone out, morphs his face, mimics their speech patterns and their mannerisms, and passes as them. And then he's supposed to like infiltrate the uh the conspiracy and then eliminate the conspirators. I think that's the face dancer's job. They can do that. They can do the face dancer. The face dancer shouldn't be a problem. They should be able to put him in no problem throughout the movie. The the thing and a part of that they can't do, Cheney being pregnant. She fucking hates him by the end of the second movie. She hates him. They're no longer together because he basically lied to her. So they're not together. So that whole part of it, I don't know how they're going to do that. They can't do it. So the conspiracy is going to be a little different. Certain aspects of the conspiracy are going to be different. A part of the conspiracy, though, was that they were trying to get Paul to have an heir with the princess. So her bloodline would continue on and her bloodline would be sitting on the throne. Excuse me. So they can do that. That they can do. They can't do the parts I just said they can't do. Um, but it will be interesting to see how that all works out. Uh, Something they can't do is anything involving Paul's sister. I don't think they're going to be able to do because she's, I think she's either a preteen or a teenager, and she may be in her mid to late teens. by this book. I'm not entirely sure how old she was in Dune Messiah. I don't think they specified how old she was in this movie. I mean, in the book. Apologies. Like I don't know. She anything involving her from the book, they can't do. That's getting thrown out. Because she's not going to be older. She may be born in this movie, but she's not going to be old enough. She's not going to be old enough to be trained as a fighter. She's not going to be old enough. I mean, in the book, there was talk. There was there was slight talk, not a whole lot of talk, of Paul and his sister creating an heir. Um, that gets dismissed pretty quickly, but they were talking about that. If she's born, like she's gonna be way too young for that conversation to even take place. Um, yeah, Paul was like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing that." That was like immediately dismissed. Even having that conversation with how young she's gonna be, you know, forget about it's his sister. Like how young she's gonna be if she is born in this movie is no, they can't do that. They couldn't have that conversation. Um, let's see. Okay, so there's another character called Hate, who is a Gola who was created from the body of Duncan Idaho. So basically, Duncan Idaho comes back from the dead in the book as a new character named Hate. They can do him. He can be in this. He can be in the movie. I don't know if he's going to be played by Jason Momoa or not. I don't. It's it is like I don't remember if they said he looked like Duncan or not. If he did look like Duncan, Jason Momoa can come back, but I don't think Jason Momoa is gonna. I don't think Jason Momoa came back for this movie. I'm not sure. He could be in the movie as the Gola Hate or not, but he can be in this movie. They can put that character in this movie. The Gola was made. He was made to assassinate Paul, but because how he's been programmed is that he can't lie. He follows orders. He has to do whatever Paul tells him to do, but he can't lie to Paul. So through a series of questions, Paul figures out that he's there to kill him. Hate tells him, "Oh, if you don't want me to kill you, you're gonna have to send me away. Because otherwise, because when I get the order to kill you, I'm going to kill you." Paul decides to keep him. He decides to keep him around. That's what I meant to say there. He keeps him around, and he's there to the end of the book. And again, but one of the things that can't work with this character is that him and Paul's sister, it is implied that they are in love with each other. That can't happen. Again, like I don't know how they're going to do that. Um, I haven't read the third book yet, but I think it's supposed. I think in the book it is going to be. It's going to be um, Hate and Paul's sister, whose name I don't remember. I don't remember her name. Hate and Paul's sister are going to raise his kids. I think that's what they're going to do in book 3. Um, let's see. I think that's how it's gonna happen, but I don't know. I think it's gonna happen in book three. They can't do that in the movie. Um, let's see, what else? Okay, well, the whole thing with with Cheney being pregnant, they might be able to do that. It could be like they broke up, but she's pregnant, so now she has to go back to Paul because, like, hey, I'm pregnant. These are your kids, or this is your kid if she doesn't know if she's having twins. Um, Also, that's another thing. If she is pregnant, if she does turn out to be pregnant in this movie, I want her to have twins. I want there to be twins born at the end of this movie, or the end of these next two movies. I don't know how. I don't again like I don't know how they're doing this. But if she is pregnant and she gives birth, I want it to be twins. If she's pregnant by Paul, um, yeah. So I don't know how that's gonna work. Her getting slipped a contraceptive, it can't. That's not gonna work because she's not gonna be in the palace to get slipped a contraceptive. She's off somewhere else. So I don't know how if they slip her if they decided to do it that way. So if she is pregnant and has to go find Paul, her getting slipped a contraceptive isn't gonna work. It's it's not gonna work. Um like I don't know. So it's like it's 50-50 on that aspect of the book. I don't know how they're gonna pull it off. Again, interested to see how they do it. Let's see. One of the another major, and then another major thing that they can do and they should do is Paul losing his eyes. Now, I'm not saying he loses his eyesight. He full on loses his eyes in the book. They're at this house. They're at a house. It gets attacked with this powerful incendiary weapon that burns down the house and creates a flaming crater where the house was. It's like and I think there was concern about if they don't put that out, if they don't put that fire out, it could it could bore a hole straight to the earth, right straight to the planet's core. Like we have to put that fire out. When this happens, Paul gets his face burned, and loses his eyes. He is completely blind. But he does not lose his sight. He can still see everything. He has like no eyes. He's walking around, no eyes, but can still see. Everybody is astonished by this. Like, what? How are you doing that? And then after that happens, that's when Cheney gives birth. They realize it's twins. Not only does he have twins, but they are 100% aware of everything around them. Paul can talk to them. He talks to them. He asks them, "Are you aware?" And they answer back, "Yes, we are." So yeah, and then at the end, so the kids are born. Cheney dies because of the contraceptive because the birth was so difficult. The kids live, and Paul says that I am a Fremen, and the Fremen way is I must walk into the desert because I am blind. He I'm not sure if that I'm paraphrasing a bit. I don't know I don't remember the exact dialogue. And he in the end of this book is Hate and his sister. They're holding the babies and they watch Paul walk out into the desert because that's the Fremen way. When you become blind, you walk out into the desert. And I was like, what? And I was like, what the fuck? He's just gonna, he's just gonna walk out into the desert? I'm like, that's nuts. I'm expecting him to come back in a later book, but I don't know. Um, they can do that in the movie. That can be done in the movie. That should be done. That should be like how Paul's story ends, and then the next movie, it's his kids. Um, yeah, I'm very interested. Those are the major events that I can remember. I am interested to see how they're going to do this because they've already they've changed the story a bit, and of course this movie is going to be coming off those changes. So I'm very interested to see how they're going to handle it. I am really hoping that these things I've said they should do in the movie are done because they can still do these things, and I'm hoping they do. But then again, they might make further changes. Um, like you gotta be careful with this, man. A lot of people are fans of these books. They're fans of the story. You change it too much, you're gonna alienate the fan base. So I really hope they are. I really hope they know what they're doing here. Okay, so that's the end. That's the end of this video. You know, if you I probably pronounced some of those names wrong. Yeah, I probably pronounced some of the names wrong. Come at me in the comments. Um, if you enjoyed the video, press the like button. If you hated the video, press the dislike button. Subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Um, Go watch and then read the books. Go watch the movies. Bye.